Yes. What is good, my people? Welcome back to Computer Music Academy's weekly homework podcast. I'm your host, Tashira Say. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Welcome to week 168 of the weekly homework assignment / podcast. Shout out to my man RTO Beats for that intro. Using that for a few more weeks and then moving on to something else. Shout out to the packed house in here right now. Apologies for the late start, man. Good Lord. I'm not even going to go into it, but we're good. We're up and running now. Let's give some shouts out, man. Agent Smith 78, Dixie Freely, DJ D-Man, Ja Rose, Black Mav, Jelani Beats, J Paz is in the house, DJ Nocturnal, Mr. Wallace, Ray Jean is in the house, RTO Beats is in the house, my wife Samaya is in the house, and several other people. Feel free to log in and hang with us. This should be a very, very good show. What are we doing? All right. So you know how we do over at CMA. We do a number of things. And we go through these different genres or these different challenges, restrictions, whatever the situation may be. And that's all in an effort to actually make someone more versatile, make them be more marketable when it's time to actually make some money. And I came up with the idea this week for us to do something really, really, really dope, I think. And we're going to be doing some funk this week. Doesn't matter if it's old school P-funk or any kind of digital funk or G-funk, whatever the situation may be. We are funking it out this week. And we actually have 12 submissions tonight. Should be a very, very good show. So let's kick things off with this gentleman as we have been for the last few weeks because he's been doing his thing. This is my man representing Zurich, Switzerland, XZ Beats. Man, what the hell is going on with XZ? Yo, this joint is nasty. Oh my God. Yo, that joint making me cough. What was that? Everything except the horn section in the middle and the solo at the end of the track is made organically. The other two, horn and solo, are played by one of my former band members. Shout out to him. Hope you enjoy XZ. Oh man, this dude is clowning. Yo, this was so dope. This was very reminiscent of, we talk about the funk, and a lot of people automatically go to like, G funk or P funk, Parliament, Cameo, that kind of stuff. But this is very reminiscent of that, of the Godfather of Soul, who actually had a nice amount of funkiness to him himself, James Brown. This is very reminiscent of something that he and the JBs did back in the day. Good Lord. This was crazy. Just when it first kicked in, when everything kicked in and the band is just playing, I mean, it sounds so damn good, XZ. Holy crap. I mean, the horn section, the guitars, the drums. I mean, this was very well put together. I'm assuming you had a hand in writing the stuff that you did not do. I'm assuming that you had a hand in that. But to be very honest, major props on that alone, because that's producing. I got an idea. I can't really do it. I'm going to bring somebody else in to help me produce this song, to help me make it come about. That's what production is all about. Man, this was crazy, XZ. Bravo, dude. You are clowning right now. You have absolutely been clowning this entire time you've been turning in stuff over these last several weeks, man. Woo, way to kick it off, man. Thank you for that. Good Lord. All right, man, let's keep it going. Let's get over here and holler at this guy, see what he's doing. This is your man's Dap Dunlap. Man, Dap Dunlap back in the building. So shout out to him. He just popped up in the chat, as well as Ray Jean, Dunsworth, Gemini 4D, Ray D 3000, man, it's a packed house tonight for real. Good Lord. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming through. So Dap has been doing his thing. Again, we've known Dap for a little bit now. He's been a member for quite a while. Well, at least going close to a year at this point. Didn't really do anything last year. This year, this dude has been pretty consistent. He's only missed, let's say a few. This right here, Dap, I see you working, bro. I see you working, and I greatly appreciate it. I really like this one. This right here, I like what you did with the Earth, Wind, and Fire. Your use of it is really cool. I like that. But the chops, as well as the filtering, as well as the drum sounds you chose, as well as the drum programming, the way you laid everything out, I ain't gonna front. This was pretty dope, man. And he kept it very simple with his submission, saying, I tried to make some Eric Sermon funk. Shout out to Eric Sermon. I've said this on the podcast before. That's one dude that never gets credit. He's never on anybody's list as far as, he never comes up in the greatest producers of all time or anything like that. And I think if he's not in like the top 5, he's got to be top 10 to me. But props on this submission. Props on all the work that you've been putting in, Dap. Please continue, bro. That's all I can ask. This was dope. Thank you for that, my man. All right, let's keep it going, man. Let's go holler at this guy right here. My light-skinned brother. Ladies and gentlemen, Ja Rose. Ja Rose, ladies and gentlemen. This guy, he's another one, has been doing his work this year, man. Okay, this was fun. My interpretation of the funk was something grimy and nasty. Oh, it was definitely that. I found a clean bass loop and MXX audio soulful stems, chopped it up, and processed the funk out of one part. The rest of the sounds came from all over, sampled and organic. Hashtag we are CMA. Look, Ja, I don't know how comfortable I feel having a light-skinned brother kicking out some funk like this, bruh. Nah, this was dope, man. I like the tempo and the way this joint was just grooving. This has a nice little, I guess you could say like a ride to it. It was just, it's crazy. It's crazy. But that bass line, and it sounded like it was filtered as well as distorted. I don't know if you just reused it or if you used it whole, so to speak, or you reused sections, kind of chopped it up. I don't know. But how you used it, how it sounded within everything that's going on in this track, stupid. That really accented what's going on in the track. The drum programming, stupid. And then you had like some keys, like an organ or something. It was almost very reminiscent of Cell Therapy by the Goody Mob. Boom, dun, 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 dun. That's what it reminded me of, just a little bit. But as a full package, as a full production, this was stupid, y'all. Jeez, man, you continue to improve. And again, I don't know how long you've been working before you got the CMA, but now over these last several months that we've known you, coming in at the end of last year and continuing on this year, man, you have been killing it. So props to you on that, my man. Thank you for that submission. Good Lord. Woo. All right. Let's come on up to Detroit, man, and check in with this guy right here. This is No One You Know. I'm trying to process this. What did I just experience here? What did I just listen to? This was crazy. The cool thing about this is like, it's no one's style as far as like, it's his signature drum programming and drum type of sounds that he normally uses. But the way in which he chopped that sample and reused it is stupid. The funk. That's the era I grew up in. I took a minute to find the right sample I wanted to use and get started. But once I heard Ray Parker's Radio, it was on. Yo, that was very well done. I ain't gonna front. Good Lord. That joint. And see, no one, as I've said before, I've talked to him personally, even though I'm talking about through the critique on the show, as well as everybody listening while it's happening. And I keep telling this dude to just keep going, keep trying new things, keep pushing. And this dude is getting better and better and better. First of all, mix is way better than it was last week. Shout out to that. But yo, like I said, your signature drum programming and drum sounds, along with this sample, how you chopped it and moved stuff around, had stuff in the perfect spot. You on your way, dog? Please continue. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say there. But I'll just say, once again, you are on the path. You are getting better and better and better every week, especially when it comes to weeks like this, where it's more of a specialty and it's something that you can directly connect with because of, your childhood or however. Stuff like this, you really shine on, dude. I hope this is something that you are considering working on yourself outside of the WHA. This is the stuff that you really been getting good marks on, so to speak, or get good responses. That's the stuff you should stick to. I'm just giving you that as a great piece of advice. But you are killing it, no one. Please, please, please continue, bro. Please continue to bang out as you do every single week. Thank you, man. Good Lord. Woo. Let me get some quick shouts out, man. Fields is in the house. Jay Bishop. DJ Nocturnal. Don't know if I shouted out to him. Who else did we get? We said what's up to Dap. Ray D. Mike Notes is in the house. There are a lot of people watching right now. Thank y'all, man. Feel free to log in with your Facebook account. Jump in the chat and hang with us, man. Appreciate you coming through and hanging with us. All right, man. Let's keep it where we are and shout out to my man that I just shouted out. This is Mike Notes.
Double negative.
word, yo. Mike Notes. The hell, man. Funk Nation was the first group I was a part of in the beginning. The funk will always be in me. Pause. Somehow or some way. The main sounds are from Marble Rims, which is a Machine expansion. Very, very dope. The other sounds I grabbed along the way. It's okay, LOL. Look, man. You got the West Coast cats in here like, yo! Cats in the chat like, dude, are you serious? This was dope, Notes. Talk about somebody who, again, I've known for a few years now. I think this is Mike's third year, I think. This dude has always been dope, but it just seems like this year in particular, he has really elevated his game. He's really doing some greater stuff now, in my opinion. He's always made something that's like, man, that's dope. But now it's like, yeesh. This was crazy, dude. This was definitely very reminiscent. This is G-Funk, of course. But very reminiscent of, who could I hear over this? Maybe MC8, maybe Spice One. For some reason, I want to say Above the Law. I don't know why, but I love Above the Law. So many people I can hear rocking to this joint. You know, just on the West Coast, a lot of people will rap on it. But people that I enjoy, man, I can hear a lot of people. I love the drum programming, how the drum programming was there, but it was somewhat subtle. What was really the highlight of the track, so to speak, or the spotlight was on these particular elements was the guitars. I love the guitar samples, and you had probably about 3 or 4 of them going on. I know there was one that was being pitched in a couple of different notes, which was really dope. But man, he broke it down a little bit, and I want to say that's around the 120, where it just turned into an entirely different groove. Stupid. You had that, you had synths. I want to say there was some pads or something going on in there. The bass was different. The guitars were doing something a little different. That's what's up, man. That's that realness, Notes. You are killing it. Bravo, my man. Bravo. Bravo. Thank you, dude. All right, man, let's go down south. Not just down south, south of the border. Let's go holla at this cat. My man down in Puerto Rico, DJ Promo.
DJ Promo.
Sit there with your head hanging down. Hey, get up, brothers! I know the ghetto have got you down. But there's something I want to say to you.
DJ Promo.
And your thoughts are beat slow down. Come on. action. We are at war. Break it down like this. How y'all feel out there?
You should have known by now.
My brother DJ Promo. What the hell is this? See, we got cats like RTO, Mr. Wallace, Locke, one or two others that escape me right now that do the whole thing where a beat will take an entirely different direction once it gets through enough of it. You know, it gets to a certain part of it, like the last third, where they would do some stuff like that. It is great every single time. Promo, however, was the innovator of that at CMA. I ain't go front. This dude was clowning like that in the first year. And he's still clowning like that in year 5. Good Lord. This was crazy. Because the way it started was kind of, I want to say it was kind of mellow, more G-funk, definitely with the clap snare. That was stupid. I like the groove on that. But then this joint completely changes. And again, I always use that term misdirection. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Where it gets to like the minute 10, I think it was. And this dude had, you know, almost like a James Brown. I think that was James Brown. I'm not 100% sure. But it's him giving speech or whatever. Then you got the horns come in. Then it just goes into like some very like late 80s, very, very, very early 90s drum break with some horns type stuff, you know, like because everybody was sampling James Brown back then. This was stupid. And then that just carried everything on out for the rest of the song. That was stupid, Promo. Good Lord. This dude continues to bang out. He continues to be, like I said, he and I like to consider him a brother because we've grown very close over the last few years because of everything he was going through, as well as the music, of course. But this dude continues to just give heat every time he turns something in. Absolutely, mwah, spectacular. My man. Thank you, Promo. Good Lord, bro. Stupid, man. Stupid. Let's keep it going, man. Let's go holler at this cat right here. We call him Ron Beastly. Sir Ron Beastly. This is Ron B.
Funk was a bad word. So George Clinton and myself kind of made that word legal. And once the street people started picking up on the thing, they were talking about the funk. Yeah, they were scared to say funk. You know, so and that was all we was about.
Sir Ronald Beastly. This dude does it, man. He's Ron B has become one of my favorite musicians. Hands down. Because this dude makes some, and not to say that anybody else does this, but he definitely doesn't go for the hook verse. This dude really puts an effort in. First of all, in just the creation itself, he's always trying to do something different. He's always reaching to do something different from everyone else, and that's a beautiful thing. But what he brings to the table is quality, and then he brings it on a weekly basis. But it's not just quality, it's not just dope, it's not just consistent. He always strives to do something absolutely different, dude. This is another one of those examples. Funk, all capitalized. I decided to focus on one of the original kings of funk, James Brown. I sampled some guy playing guitar in the music store on YouTube and chopped the hell out of it to make my own funk guitar. That is dope. I also sampled some live performances of James Brown, of a James Brown break, and added my own drums on top of it. Now you have a Ron B funk session. Man, this was stupid. Talk about, like an ode to James Brown. And we did a James Brown dedication. What was that, like 2 years ago now? Shout out to Mike Notes, QB Quentin Barrett, as well as Mr. Wallace, who actually took care of that show because I was sick at the time. Thank you for handling that for me. But this would have been perfect on that particular show, I swear. He killed it as far as the whole James Brown feel and theme. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. Massive, massive props. I don't know what break it was or what drums it was from what song, but the way he took those drums, and then it seems like he added more reverb to them, because back in the day, it wasn't like reverb machines, even though they had some of those reverbs and plates, but they were doing like reverbs in rooms. I know Motown Studios, they still have their plate room, so to speak. But basically, they would kind of reamp the drums going down into the plate, or the reverb coming back. This had a ridiculous amount of reverb, but it wasn't overbearing. It didn't take away from the drums. In fact, it added and accented the drums. That right there just stands out so nasty. Then you got the guitars and everything else that was going on in this track, along with the James Brown vocal chops and stuff like that. And if he said he sampled a dude on YouTube in Guitar Center, my bad. That's innovative. I ain't go front. Ron Beastly, my man. Thank you, sir. Please continue to do what you do. Seriously. I need a new project too. I need something new to listen to, bro. Thank you, man. All right. Like we always do about this time, let's go holler at my brother right here. Ladies and gentlemen, Black Mav.
Count it off. 1, 2, 3. the city. Do it for the city. Do it for the city. Do it for the city. We do it for the city now. Bounce with the let's go.
Yeah. Black math, ladies and gentlemen. Black math. WHA 168 got me to thinking. I grew up listening to funk music of the 70s and 80s of all time. However, when I think of the funk genre, the first thought that comes to my mind is go-go music, being from the DMV. I grew up hearing Chuck Brown, Junkyard Bang every summer near my childhood home. Growing up in DC. Much has changed throughout the years, but I wanted to do this to let people know that Chocolate City still has a sound and it's all its own. Since go-go music happens exclusively in live settings, I used addicted drums, a bass guitar, Rhodes, guitar, piano, and some vocals. I may add some percussion in the future to drive the point home. Hope you like it. Hashtag we are CMA. Stupidity. And I can't say I know a lot about the whole DC go-go scene or even the funk scene, because you got, he mentioned them, Chuck Brown, Jamaican Fun, if I'm not mistaken, right? That joint, and a lot of the, some of the stuff that I've heard from him is very reminiscent of that sound that Mav had going in his submission, which stupid, slow bass. Slow. First of all, kind of slow and groovy. Drums swinging out of nowhere, bass line swinging like crazy, and then keys really stupid, vocals really stupid. Nice reverb on those drums too, and I'm a huge fan of addictive drums, and he just got into it recently. This was beautiful, Mav. Really, really dope. That's very reminiscent of I'm not gonna say reminiscent, but this would be perfect for our Rep Your City assignment, which we will probably end up doing that again this year. This would be very dope to represent like that for DC, man, DMV. Stupid. Mav is my man. He continues to bring greatness. Woo! Good Lord. Good Lord. Man, we got a couple people in the building. I don't know if I shouted out my man Dixie Freely. Shout out to Dixie Freely. Shout out to DJ Promo. Mental to God is in the building. Netmaker's in the building. Good Lord. Where we bringing all kind of people out tonight, yo. Shout out to Fields. I don't know if I said what up to him, but there he is. I think I got everybody for now, man. Thank y'all, man. Appreciate y'all coming and hanging with us tonight. Woo! Y'all are killing it. Let's keep it going. This is one of the joints that I was highly anticipating tonight, considering who he is and where he's from. This is the pride of Sacramento, California. My man, Ray D 3000. What the hell is wrong with Ray D 3000? What the hell is going on in Sacramento? What the hell did I just listen to? Whoo, boy. When I tell you, that's one of the joints that I was highly anticipating tonight. He delivered. Ray D 3000, yo. For this submission, I wanted to make something that reminded me of watching breakdancing growing up. I'm going to speak on that. The music was always smooth, funky, and very synth heavy to me. I can only describe it as electro funk. Hope you enjoy. What I was going to say before I read the submission is it's very, very, very reminiscent of, the best I can describe it is the West Coast funk of the 80s. That's what it reminds me of. And I know, one or two other territories kind of had that sound, because I know Roger Troutman and Zapp, as far as I know, they're Midwest, but they sounded very West Coast, because there were some other groups out west that had that very similar sound. But this, as you said, puts me in the mind of that era. Like, this would have been perfect for our 80s drink. What was that, a couple weeks ago? This would have been perfect for that. But man, as soon as it came on, and that first kick, and then that first clap hit, stupid. I was already invested. But then it just continued to, he continued to do different things with it throughout. Drums, just on bump. Bass was nasty, nice synth bass. Then like the pads and high synths and stuff like that. Chord stuff. Oh my God. This was crazy, Ray D. Crazy. Absolutely nuts, dude. Very, very, and I don't mean this in a bad way. This is exactly what I expect when I hear West Coast funk. When somebody says, I'm from the West Coast and I do funk music, this is exactly what I want to hear. Straight up. Ray D. Bravo, dude. God. Jeez, man. Y'all are clowning tonight, bro. Y'all are clowning. I think I shouted out everybody. Let's keep it going, man. Shout out to all the guests that are hanging with us right now. Thank y'all for coming to hang with us, man. Feel free, if you ever come through the show, feel free to use your Facebook login and jump in the chat. We do this every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here, computermusicacademy.com/live. And we post the podcast, the full podcast, on computermusicacademy.com the next day. Let's keep it going, man. Let's go holla at my brother right here. Another one I'm highly anticipating simply because of this man's elevation and evolution this year with all the instrumentation. So this right here should be very interesting. This is my man, Dixie Freely. Dog. Cats is showing out tonight, bro. This is insane. Yo, Broham, for this week's assignment, I went back and listened to groups like Slave, one of my favorites, Lakeside, another one of my favorites, Zap, of course, one of my favorites, and the Gap Band, of course, for inspiration. What I found is some groups did acoustic funk while others did synth funk. Very true. I chose to marry the two. The assignment also led me to learn how to use the modulation wheel on my keyboard controller, which is very dope if you know how to use it. I never touched it before. At any rate, I hope it's funky. Sounds, UVI Mini Moog. Native Instruments Amplified Funk. Shout out to Amp Fiddler. Scarby M-Bass and Session Horns. Dixie. This was beautiful. What you described and what you produced, created, 100% on point. Speaking of those groups and what you did, perfect. Absolutely perfect. You nailed that. There's no other way for me to describe it. You absolutely nailed it. The groove within the drums themselves, very reminiscent of that era, those groups back then. Guitar, bass, horns, stupid, absolutely stupid. But then I believe it was in the last part, the second part, which was around the 140, is where we got into a little of the Roger Troutman era. Because it sounded like you had a damn vocoder going on for a second. Well, a talk box. That's the talk box. My apologies. Sounded like you had the talk box going on back there. Man, listen. And like you said, using the modulation wheel with certain instruments, especially now because you got all the UVI stuff popping with the synth anthology and whatnot. Dude, you tap into some really, really dope effects with that thing. Filtering and wobbling and oscillating, all kind of craziness. So props to you for another beautiful submission, my man. Good Lord. I don't know what to do with y'all, man. Y'all are absolutely nailing it. All right, let's keep it going, man. Let's go holler at this guy right here, see what he did, because we know what he's capable of. But let's see what he did this week. This is DJ Nocturnal. Before I say what I'm getting ready to say, allow me to just preface this by saying, I mean this with all love. Nocturnal is a damn fool, dog. Sheesh. Whoa. My new anthem. All funk house passengers must wear shades. This dude is clowning, yo. And see, this is the highlight of my week when I get a chance to sit here in this chair, in this studio, and broadcast. And while I'm doing that, I'm listening to some of the best freaking music that for some reason isn't being heard. Locke, we know what he does. I was highly anticipating seeing what he did this week. Stupid Locke. Absolutely nasty. I love it. And I say this all the time. I love it when somebody has a particular place they normally go, a direction that they normally go. But they can take whatever this week's subject is and pull some of it over there to what they do and still make it their own thing. Locke is excellent at that. This was crazy. It was very reminiscent of, I want to say it almost reminded me of some Daft Punk. That might be a little extreme, but like older Daft Punk. They had some really funky stuff back in the day, like, I want to say like in the 90s, I think it was. But the reason I say that is because it's the whole semi-electronic thing, as well as he brought the funk. He brought the synth stuff and everything that he does, but he crafted it with some funk, with some bounce, and made it work. Locked down. Gamma Pods. Every week, yo, this dude continues to bang out and kill it. This was insane, Locke. Chat on fire. Good Lord. Locke, my brother, thank you, man. All right. We've come to the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what's going to go down with this guy right here. The professor, Mr. Wallace.
Funk upon a time, in the day of the glorious, the tri-dimensional houses of energy release their original powers to the translators of the interplanetary funk code. Funkin' religion, funkin' lesson, key bearers funkin' to the east. Earthbound.
many weapons. This was one of them. A changeling.
Mr. Wallace, ladies and gentlemen, closing out episode 168 of the weekly homework assignment / podcast. Screw you, Mr. Wallace. All right, I'm done. We gotta let y'all know. Nah. Bruh. Before I go any further, before I read the submission, I don't know if you got it in the submission. I haven't read it yet. Props, if nothing else, props on digging up some electrifying mojo. For those who are outside of Michigan, you may not know who the electrifying mojo is. Fortunately, we live in 2017 and you can go on YouTube. Electrifying Mojo is one of the greatest DJ personalities or radio personalities of all time. He used to rock, I swear to God, before I was born, and occasionally he's still on the air, and he has rocked at so many stations in the Metro Detroit area. I don't know if he's been outside. I can't tell you that. But throughout my lifetime, which has been a few years, I've listened to this dude the majority of it. He has always been, as far as the funk and just, I mean, he plays a little bit of everything, but that was him in the beginning. Go to YouTube, look up Electrifying Mojo, and you will understand. There's a lot of his old content on YouTube, and it's great. Props to Wallace for that alone. This joint is called Earthbound, My First Foe. I'm assuming like 6-foe. Hydraulics and whatnot. It is the product of two different directions I was going in. The space funk of the first joint, I was inspired by DJ Battlecat and Parliament. Beautiful. Not as much variety as I would have liked, but that can change. The second movement was just the product of stream of consciousness and trying to do too much. Praise be to the funk. So let's unpack this. The first 2 quarters, or 2 parts of the song. Well, yeah, I guess you could say 2/3, however. The first 2/3 of the song, sick. Very, very funky. More of a modern, almost kind of a neo soul, but it's not. It's definitely has some very, very, very funk elements in there. Love the piano, love the bass. And you had a bass, and I believe you had a sub bass as well, because it only hit on certain notes and it kind of had a distortion to it, and I heard it. I don't know if people can hear everything that's watching live, but if you're watching the podcast, the real podcast, you will hear everything this dude did. It's beautiful. But that bass was nasty. Guitar, I mean, that was crazy. This dude had peaks and valleys, so to speak. He had a solo in there where the piano was being played. Very dope, I'll add. But then it gets to, I'm going to say about the 50. Where it just completely changes into this slow. It definitely Parliament inspired groove. At least it sounds like some old, really slow, you know, that boom, 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 you know, something like that. Very slow, very funky, very groovy groove. And the silly part, I'm listening in my headphones and I'm like, wait a minute, is that somebody with like hydraulics in the background? And as the joint progressed and the song faded out, you get to hear somebody's talking about some, yeah, jump it again. Bzz, bzz. Wallace is out of his damn mind, dog. He is out of his mind. That was beautiful, Wallace. Expect nothing less from the professor. Woo! Man, listen. Y'all have given us another great show. This was incredible. I really enjoyed this week. Man, let's get some shouts out real quick, bro. Shall we? Ray D 3000, Mike Notes, DJ Promo, Ja Rose, Netmaker, Mental to God, Gemini 4D, Dunsworth, Dap Dunlap, DJ D-Man, Ray G, J Paz, DJ Nocturnal, Dixie Freely, RTO Beats, Jelani Beats, Black Math, Mr. Wallace, DJ Widebody was here very early. No one you know was here. And it says Dre Smith was here too. Okay. Shout out to Dre Smith. Am I missing anybody? Fields, Jay Bishop. Who else we got here, man? Nocturnal, if I did not shout you out already. Ray D 3000. My wife Samaya. Love you, baby. Man, thank y'all for hanging with us tonight, man. DJ Promo. Apologies if I did not shout you out. Dunsworth. Shout out to you as well, my man. We do this every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here, computermusicacademy.com/live. And if you would like to be amongst the great talent pool, and trust me, there is a great one, come on over to computermusicacademy.com and join us. It is that simple. We're done for the week. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will talk to y'all next time. See ya!